My name's Charlotte George. I'm the Green Party candidate for Hackney South and Shoreditch in the election in 2 days' time. And I've come to Passing Clouds to talk to people who, some people who are maybe divided about whether voting makes any difference. So we watched Russell Brand's infamous interview with Jeremy Paxman on Newsnight, and they've just had a really interesting discussion about whether the political sphere can ever actually be changed and whether there's any point in engaging with it. No one knows what's going to happen on Friday, the 8th of May. What everyone knows is that it's probably going to be chaos and that there's not going to be a clear majority party. Voting Green is going to start to send a really strong message in terms of the vote share. That if the vote share of the Green Party goes up significantly but we don't get any more votes, it's going to really help with the argument that we need a better electoral system, which is going to help everybody and actually be more democratic and help get rid of safe seats, which is one of the reasons why people don't want to vote. I mean, I've even had that here, it's a safe Labor seat, and in some ways that helps with the argument for why you should vote Green, because, okay, the Tories aren't going to get in. But then other people are like, well, what's the point? It's a safe Labor seat. Doesn't matter, and they sort of want to be on the winning team. I get this funny thing where I only want to vote if I'm going to vote for the person who wins, which is sort of a slightly strange idea. But so I really think that vote share this time is going to mean a lot more than it has in the past, because I think it's going to start a conversation, because there are these alliances that are going to happen, and it's going to come down to who feels like they had the legitimacy. There's going to be a lot of discussion about legitimacy, and I think that maybe voting Green in a safe Tory seat, you're still helping to build up that legitimacy for maybe a left-wing alliance, a progressive alliance that might form with Labor or have some say in the next Parliament. Here's hoping. The actual campaigning is really interesting. Knocking on people's doors every time I'm a bit terrified, and I think, I don't want to do it. It's almost always amazing. You get really interesting responses from people. You just get a glimpse into people's lives, and people get to know an area that I've never got to know before, parts of my own community that I just didn't know were there. I feel like also we're in it for the long term. We know we're not going to win this time, logically, statistically, but we're going to give it all that we can, and then hope that builds up and that people respond to it. And Brighton only just recently became a Green Party seat, and before that they were second. So if we can come second, it can start to lead to something else. I also think that there are some really technical, almost physical things that hopefully will change. They're saying that Westminster itself is actually crumbling, the actual building. And I think just moving out of Westminster, a lot of MPs I've heard say this, will in and of itself help with some of the democratic processes, that maybe, having a round Parliament instead of an adversarial, yelling at each other across the hallway Parliament, changing the lobbying and the whips, and I think all of those things, something about actually physically moving the space will help break away from some of those really archaic and undemocratic traditions. And that probably will have to happen, because actually the metaphor is just too much, isn't it? I'm hoping that's one of the reasons why it's sort of all coming together about the right time, I think, for things to actually improve and really help for people feel like they actually have a voice again in a democracy.